Hello and welcome to the weekly show. Our guest today is Torsten Müller-Ötvös, the CEO of Rolls-Royce Motor Cars. He's in Dubai to launch Phantom, the 6 Elements series, and we sat down with him exclusively to talk about cars, Bespoke, and how they let their clients' imaginations run wild. Welcome, Torsten. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Pleasure. Really, it's great to be back in Dubai.
So you've flown into Dubai for the launch of Phantom, the 6 Elements. What inspired this project?
Yeah, I mean, that is for us quite a major project, and a project my heart is very much involved. When I met Sasha Jaffrey, I think it was last year, and we first time discussed the idea, I was immediately in love with that brilliant idea of the elements.
So and, 6 cars, brilliant. All sold already?
All sold. It's anyhow a project where we aren't saying we are selling something. It is where we are inviting clients, well-known clients, to participate in that project. Because the project is not just about building and commissioning probably one of the most magnificent Phantoms on earth, but also being part of a very remarkable charity story, and I think that all together is quite something. And of course, I'm here to launch the cars tonight to our clients.
So you've chosen the 6 clients, meaning they already have 1 or 2 or 3 or several Rolls-Royce.
Right, they are very well-known clients of ours. I mean, not me personally have chosen them, but the team here, and we have talked with them already for quite a while about the idea, and all of them were very much intrigued by what we are planning to do and what Sasha's idea is, and why we would do it that way. And I mean, now you see the project ready in full beauty, and it is remarkable.
And you've chosen 4 charities to contribute the $1 million to.
Yeah, it's over $1 million, yeah.
And I understand it took 2 years.
It took 2 years, yeah, exactly. And it is something that also takes time when you think it's pieces of art we are putting into the gallery of the car. It is also getting it all together with our designers so that the car in total fits perfectly to Sasha's work, and that takes time. And I think quality anyhow takes time. That's our philosophy at the end within Rolls-Royce Motor Cars. And it always pays off, because then you're always excited to see the final product, and here they are.
Over 800 hours.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a long time. I would say over 1,000 hours.
Over 1,000 hours, striving for perfection.
I think to build a Rolls-Royce is at least 800 hours. A Phantom far beyond 1,000. Those ones here, I can't count. I mean, probably double, if not even triple the amount of time, due to the fact that also Sasha's artwork is in, and it is what we call 60 pairs of hands building these masterpieces. So you have 60 different craftspeople, craftswomen, craftsmen who are building one of our magnificent cars.
I find it really interesting that the clients are as involved as you say they are, and they must be, especially when it comes to Bespoke, but high net worth clients usually don't have time, and you're asking for their involvement, for their time, for their input. How does that work?
I mean, first of all, and it sounds now a little bit funny, we are not in the car business, yeah? We are in the luxury goods business. Nobody needs us to come from A to B. Yes, technically we are talking about a car, but in its emotional sense, it's pure luxury what we are doing. And I think clients are building their own masterpiece. Every single Rolls-Royce that leaves the line in Goodwood carries an owner story. He or she decided what it should look like, what the story is behind all the details, why we are doing it that way. And I think that's great. And clients love to be involved. Yes, it's consuming time, that's right. But it's also very rewarding. When you sit together with our designers, I mean, we have here in Dubai opened up now last year for the very first time the private office. And the lady running it, designer Michelle Lusby, she is doing a great job. And that is exactly what clients love. Working closely together with our designers, crafting their own masterpiece.
So it's fair to say that this has to be a passion of the clients.
It is a passion, definitely. And I think particular projects like this one here is even more passionate because it also carries a charity dimension in itself. And it's more than just ordering a masterpiece, it's also that you give something for the better.
Another interesting development for Rolls-Royce is introducing the electric vehicles, Specter. The first will be ready in Q4 of 2023. What drove this decision?
I mean, the decision is driven by a lot of facts. Number one, we see quite a transformation in the, let's say, car industry now, that going electric long term is probably the right route to go. It fits, by the way, perfect to Rolls-Royce. There's even an old, long-lasting history behind us going electric. Charles Rolls made a prophecy in 1900, unbelievable. Charles Rolls, one of our founding fathers, said that an electric car is probably the ideal way to move and to operate.
Really ahead of his time.
Yeah, ahead of his time. 122 years ago, he made that prognosis and said, or prophecy, and said that once fixed charging is available, he thinks it is the ideal way, particular for a Rolls-Royce. And here we are.
So how are customers reacting? What is the demand like?
Clients love it. We have experimented quite a while. We're experimenting with electric propulsion, I think, since 2010. When I joined, we brought an electric Phantom 7 into the market, a one-off, to get exactly that insight, because I was interested to see how would clients react on an electric Phantom. And the reaction was very positive. The car is silent, propulsion is great, you have unbelievable torque, you generate that waftability. That's what Rolls-Royce is all about, magic carpet ride. So electric propulsion is perfect for us. We are not defined by loud engines, by exhaust noises and whatever. So they loved it, but at that time, range was not sufficient, charging the battery was far too long. And we thought, okay, once we're gonna get that right, and now is the time and we have it right, that's the reason why we are now launching Specter. And we are the very first ones in the market now in the luxury segment to come with an all-electric luxury super coupe.
But transitioning to full electric, your entire portfolio by 2030, that's quite bold.
Yeah, but I think the right decision. And because for us it's also not such an issue with, let's say, public charging network. All our clients do have garages. They have also garages in their offices, and no problem to install a charger. Quite a lot of our clients already have in their fleet of cars an electric car, and for that reason it's, for us, I wouldn't call it a no-brainer, but it lends very much into it that we go by 2030 completely electric.
And I mean, you're closely in touch with clients, you're listening to their feedback. Was this one of their requirements?
I mean, we are very much located in main capital cities in the world. They also understand that times are changing very much. We might even be forced in 15 years in certain city centers that you aren't any longer allowed to go with combustion engines into city centers. And I think that would be the end of our brand if you wouldn't be allowed to drive into cities, outside of cities anymore. And that's also another reason why we go electric. And I think I can promise, once you are behind the wheel of Specter, you will immediately say, wow, let's do it with all cars. It is fantastic. I've done quite a lot of miles now in Specter, and it is remarkable. I mean, also our 12-cylinder engines are great, make no error, and they are fabulous. I love them very much, but going electric is even different, even more magic carpet ride in a beautiful way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting, but you always say it's first Rolls-Royce and only then electric.
100%. Well remembered, exactly. And that was very important for our clients. That's also why Specter, and we started to show the car already beginning of June this year to our first clients worldwide, and there was, I must say, even a relief to say, wow, you got it right. Exactly what you always said, a Rolls-Royce first and an electric car second, because our clients, they buy a Rolls-Royce, yeah? And I think that's what is the key driver.
Here in the UAE, which is a big market for you, what would you say are the most popular popular Rolls-Royces to date?
I mean, we have a long-lasting history here in the UAE, and you see a lot of our cars here on the road.
True.
I mean, particularly...
Which models?
Particularly popular is Cullinan down here, which obviously
good
lends
for the desert.
itself very good here, exactly, to the desert, to the area. And what I always love here in the UAE is there is so much creativity of our clients behind Bespoke and how the car should look. I would even say that probably the most, allow me to say it, funky cars, and I mean that very positive, going down the line are going then later into Middle East. And the clients put lots of effort into what is the color, and we see a lot of very flamboyant cars down here, and that's great.
With Bespoke, you need even more involvement in the creation of the car, and here in Dubai you do see all kinds. What would you say is the most imaginative, or maybe I can use the word outrageous even, request that you've received?
I mean, we are getting, I would never call them outrageous, I would call them quite fitting to what the client wants to do. I mean, we are getting lots of different things, from humidors in cars and special bar sets for little safe boxes for storing your watches. So lots of brilliant stuff, and particularly also Phantom with its gallery, where you can put your own piece of art behind. That has proven to be very successful here in the Middle East, with lots of client ideas, what should happen. I mean, you hardly see here a car that doesn't carry seriously signatures or whatever from the client, and it is the client's car. And these cars later on are also maintained in the family, handed down to the next generation. So you hardly see them coming back to the market one day. Yeah? They are part of the family then.
Any request you've rejected in the past?
We are rejecting only requests which are technically not feasible in a way that they would not allow to homologate the car in the particular region. So you need to fulfill obviously certain regulations. If a client would ask me, can we take the airbag out and let's put a humidor in instead, just as an example, we need to say no, that's not possible, because then the car can't be registered anymore.
But it would never be a color
No.
or a fantasy?
No, nothing. Your imagination is our limit. We are building you a dream. And it's your dream that makes you happy and that drives you, and that's exactly what we are building. And we have a lot of clients commissioning their own color. You can do that. You bring a certain piece or whatever it is, piece of your fabric, and you say, that's exactly what I want to have. And we're going to replicate it, and then it even carries your name. The color carries your name, and we are not allowed to sell it on to somebody else.
Well, I'll start thinking of a color.
Here we go.
I've seen some brilliant Rolls-Royces on National Day,
Yeah.
you know, inspired by the UAE flag. Definitely, this region is very much, I would say, a good playing ground for the
very
lovers
much.
of Rolls-Royce.
That's also why I enjoy being here. And you see, first of all, as I said already, a lot of flamboyant ideas, and I'm always in for flamboyant ideas. Yeah.
Interesting choice of words. Yeah. You've been CEO since 2010,
yeah.
but you've always been a car nut.
Yeah.
How did you get into this business?
I mean, that is something, car business, I mean, that was always my dream. I was raised in Germany, Munich, Bavaria, and obviously then you see the four-cylinder tower in Munich, BMW, and you think that's the place to work for. And
was Rolls-Royce the dream?
Rolls-Royce, I mean, this is something you probably can't dream, because it is something that comes. And it is, I mean, obviously great to aspire for, but the likelihood to achieve it is not as easy. And for that reason, I think I was lucky enough to get offered by the BMW Group lots of very interesting roles, also Mini relaunch in 1999. But I must say the crown is definitely my CEO role at Rolls-Royce Motor Cars. It's an honor to serve for this brand here, and every morning I'm driving into our buildings, I'm humbled by working for these great men, Sir Henry Royce, Charles Rolls, and makes me pretty proud what we have done all together here with the brand over the last 10, 15 years.
Must also be a lot of pressure.
Yeah, pressure obviously in a way of it's lots of legacy obviously, and it is quite a responsibility to make sure that the brand survives and goes on and is in perfect shape and is loved by our clients worldwide. And when you see, let's say, the development over the last 10 years, it's quite a remarkable success story, allow me to say that, and I think we must have done something right.
When you say success story, do you mean this in terms of sales? Do you mean this as far as your demographic? Your demographic has changed, it's become much younger, more women. So what is success to you?
I mean, success for me is happy clients and clients who love to come to us and clients who are in love with the brand. And also clients we haven't seen, for instance, years ago before, very much younger clients, also tells you that you are apparently in tune with what's going on in the world. We are in the meantime selling worldwide 20% of our products to celebrities, be it film stars, sports stars, from all over, and that is also an indication that apparently we are doing something right. And then obviously, yes, the sales success over the last years, and we are not interested really in volume, but I think the volume also speaks its own language, that going one year to the next year, strength by strength by strength, that's a great, remarkable story. So I think by the end of this year, we are breaking again another record for the brand, and that's great to see. Also, when you think the average price of a Rolls Royce today is at least $500,000 worldwide, that is also quite an achievement. So clients are prepared to pay that amount of money because they appreciate the value and they understand the value we are putting into it, and they also understand the value of Bespoke.
What's the most expensive Rolls Royce sold today?
I mean, the most expensive Rolls Royce ever sold in history is the project Boattail, our coach build project. We have released last year and this year. We have done 3 in total, very different from each other, commissioned by, again, invited clients. And these cars are the most expensive Rolls Royces ever in history of the brand. And it's a long history of the brand.
What do you see younger customers liking? Clients who care more about the environment, who aren't looking maybe for the same status symbol?
I mean, our clients, also the younger ones, first of all, invest into an asset. And I mean, the sustainability of a Rolls Royce is quite remarkable. 80% of all Rolls Royces ever built in history, 80% are still on the road. And that's also testament to the quality, the build quality, the material we are using. And I think once you're in the family, you stay in the family. And particularly the younger ones are quite interested by what you can really do.
You're saying it's an investment. It's not even a luxury. It's, invest in a car, you'll have it for many, many years.
Yeah, exactly. It's an asset. And in case you would need to sell it one day, for whatever reason, it will carry an excellent residual value, that's for sure.
You talk about the importance of having luxury on this earth, but end of the day, this is a car, this is a product that only few will be able to enjoy. Why would you say it's still important to have around?
I think it's part of the brand, that not everybody should drive a Rolls Royce and that only a few can enjoy it. I mean, it is what we would call exclusivity in the maximal form. And I think that's part of the brand, I mean, the brand is very much admired by many, many people. Probably the most well-known brand on earth, very much the synonym for the best, the Rolls Royce of kitchen, the Rolls Royce of TV sets or whatever. And I think that is exactly the way how we want to keep on going. And we have lots of clients who are telling me Torsten, I always dreamt about a Rolls Royce since I was a kid or whatever, and now the moment is the moment, and I'm commissioning my very first Rolls Royce. And that's quite something, yeah, because that moment then comes alive, and that's also coming back to your former question, interesting that they're investing so much time. A Rolls Royce is nothing that you're gonna spec in a couple of minutes or whatever, because it's a unique moment in time when you are specifying your own very first Rolls Royce. And then you're sitting together with our designers, you do it, and no matter what the time is needed for doing it, you get it right, because it's your very first own dream-built Rolls Royce.
And you also need a lot of patience.
Yeah, of course, and then you need patience, obviously, but this is also great, because I think something that is immediately available, yeah, here, waiting is also building the excitement then later. And we also see lots of clients flying into Goodwood to witness when the car's in the build phase, to see how the beauty is crafted and done.
So finally, what's next for a brand like Rolls-Royce after electrification?
I mean, electrification, as you rightly pointed out, is quite a bold journey for us. I mean, by 2030, that's the promise. So I think we have lots of work to do over the next years to get it all sorted, to get all the cars into an electric state. And it's not that we are converting the existing ones, we are building brand new ones who are replacing the existing lineup. And by 2030, the entire portfolio is electric. And I think with that, we have a lot to do. And there's lots on our plate, on our hands, to get sorted.
Many, many hours of work.
Yeah, right.
Torsten, thank you so much for
Pleasure.
your time today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.